Good morning and welcome to the Utopian Cafe for Friday, July 16th, as Major League Baseball kicks off their second half tonight. They were supposed to last night. I actually read this morning that there was a COVID outbreak in the Yankees organization, and the scheduled Red Sox-Yankees game from last night was postponed. And I guess from what I'm reading, that series might be in jeopardy. So the rest of Major League Baseball will resume tonight with a full Friday night slate. And the Utopian Baseball universe has a big weekend as well. We only have nine games left in these South versus East and West versus North games before we go on a big stretch of division games coming up. So you can see some of the scores from yesterday. We did a unique show last night at 5 o'clock where we basically simulated the entire schedule except for the Xbox game live. And you got to see everything on my screen. So you saw the scoreboard, the website I use, the random number shuffler. You saw me actually write up the headlines. So if you were able to see that show, thank you. We'll probably do that again on days where we have lesser games, maybe, 2 or 3 times more before the season ends. But this weekend, we've got a lot of good stuff planned for you. First, let's just go right off the bat with our Xbox schedule for the weekend. So tonight, and this will be, 10 o'clock, 10:30 maybe. We're going to do Toronto at St. Louis from St. Louis. That's going to be tonight's game. Saturday afternoon, about 3 o'clock or so, we're going to do Angels at Indians. And then Sunday morning, our Sunday morning game this week is going to be the Marlins at the Mets. And that's going to be Dontrell Willis versus Tom Seaver on Sunday morning. So that's our Xbox schedule coming up. And we've got 2 World Series that we're going to commemorate this weekend. Today, we're going to commemorate the 1924 World Series between the New York Giants and the Washington Senators, one of the great World Series of all time. We're going to commemorate that today as the Twins host the Giants. That's going to be at 3 o'clock today. Not an Xbox stream, but the game will be simulated. It'll be a 3 o'clock start for that. You'll get that result tonight on the Utopian Baseball Universe After Dark. And then on Sunday, we're going to commemorate the 1984 World Series as the Tigers host the Padres. So a lot of good stuff this weekend. Let's actually take a look real quick at the full schedule. These are South at East games kicking off tonight. We've got Atlanta at Boston, Durham at Philadelphia, St. Louis at Toronto, Montreal at Florida, Mets at Tampa Bay. Oh, wait a minute. I'm reading this all wrong. Let's just start over. All right. So we got Atlanta at Boston, Durham at Philadelphia, St. Louis at Toronto, Kansas City at Montreal, Florida at the Mets, Tampa Bay at the Yankees, Houston at Baltimore, and Texas at Washington. All of those games will kick off tonight. And then this weekend in West at North games, we've got San Francisco at Minnesota, Oakland at the Brewers, the Angels at the Indians, Dodgers at Reds. This very well could have been the championship last year. The Dodgers took the Braves to 7 games at the table. Reds and Yankees, I think, went down to the 6th game. But this very well could have been our championship last year. So a rematch in Cincinnati this weekend. Seattle at Philadelphia. Seattle at Pittsburgh. San Diego at Detroit. The Rockies at the Cubs. They're going to have the they're going to have one of 2 day games today. Rockies at Cubs today from Wrigley, and then that Giants Twins game is going to be a 3 o'clock game, and then Arizona at the White Sox. Taking a look at national coverage, our Friday night showcase game tonight on the UBU network is going to be the Diamondbacks and White Sox. NBC tomorrow is going to get Rays at Yankees with Vin Scully and Joe Garagiola. On TBS tomorrow with Brian Anderson and Ron Darling, we've got the Dodgers and Reds. And our Sunday night game is going to be that Padres-Tigers commemorating the 1984 World Series. So that's what the weekend looks like. I mean, if we're looking at some of these matchups, we've got all aces on the bump on Sunday. And that's always fun when we can get all the aces going on the same day, especially on a Sunday. So looking at some of these matchups, we got Warren Spahn versus Smokey Joe Wood on Sunday. Garrett Cole versus Steve Carlton. Garrett Cole versus Steve Carlton. Bob Gibson versus Marcus Stroman. We've got Brett Saberhagen versus Steve Rogers. As I mentioned earlier, Willis versus Seaver Sunday morning. We're going to get David Price versus Ron Guidry on Sunday. J.R. Richard versus Jim Palmer. And Yu Darvish versus Steven Strasburg. That's just half of it. And then in those West at North games Sunday, this is a really interesting one. This is actually, if I'm not mistaken, Christy Mathewson versus Walter Johnson, I think actually happened in the 1924 World Series. I'd have to double check. I might be getting my years mixed up there, but Christy Mathewson versus Walter Johnson on Sunday. That's going to be fantastic. We've got Eddie Plank versus Teddy Aguirre on Sunday. Nolan Ryan versus Bob Feller. Sandy Koufax versus Johnny Cueto. Freddie Garcia versus Smokey Joe Williams. Freddie Garcia, not a ace by any means, but because of the Trevor Bauer situation, he's going to take the bump on Sunday. Jake Peavy versus Jack Morris. That's going to be our ESPN game on Sunday. We've got Rube Foster versus Fergie Jenkins and Randy Johnson versus Lucas Giolito. Those are all the matchups for Sunday. So I anticipate a lot of good pitching matchups. And I'm sure because it is the Utopian baseball universe that there's going to be some surprises, and there's probably going to be a team that puts up 15 runs or something to that effect. So that's what the weekend's going to look like. I can't believe we're getting deep into the season. Starting tonight, it's game 94 of 156. So the pennant race is on. Right now, Toronto is our division leader in the East. They've been leading the East for quite a while. Atlanta in the South. Pittsburgh holding on to a 1-game lead now in the North. And in the West, the Padres. So if the season were over, those 4 teams would earn a bye into the division round and would host the wild card winners. So we've got a lot of games left to determine that, but it's going by fast. It really is. But should be a fun weekend. Want to wish happy birthdays to Ken Hendershot and Barry Fedorovich. Happy birthday to you guys. Hope your teams get some victories in the universe this weekend. And it looks like we have a couple people watching. So we have Greg Fokker. Thanks, the baby Jesus, that it is Friday. And it is Friday. Thank God it's Friday, says Greg Fokker. Gaylord Fokker. Happy that it's Friday. And I'm happy that it's Friday, too. I'll be heading into work here in a couple hours, about 9 o'clock today. A short Friday shift for me. I'm going to come back, and I'm about halfway through a book that I find interesting, but I'm not loving it yet. So I'm hoping it kind of picks up. It's called The Victory Season, and it's about basically wartime baseball in the 40s. So want to continue with that. Just a note, again, this is a simulcast. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. I had promised earlier in the week that we were going to start that Monday, but I bought and paid for it yesterday. So yesterday's 5 o'clock show was our first simulcast. It's, again, great for me. I don't have to upload anything anymore. It's going to stream right to both. And then I don't have to worry about doing any uploads or edits or anything like that. Next week, haven't decided on the day yet. I'm thinking it might be Monday. Starting next week, we're going to do one show a week live from a cafe, an actual cafe. We're going to do most likely Fiddleheads here in Grafton. So I'm going to be at Grafton, and I'll confirm that probably on the show tonight, the Utopian Baseball Universe After Dark. I'll confirm that. So we're going to do 7 o'clock on Monday from Fiddleheads. And, you know, the Monday shows are, for the most part, we're just doing power rankings and kind of looking at the week ahead. We'll talk about the MLB and what happened during the weekend. But I went all Bret Hart there, and I said the MLB instead of MLB. If you don't get that reference, you're not a wrestling fan. So, all right, guys. Everyone have a good weekend. Mitch Nellis is next on A Little Bit of Thunder on Facebook, and today is Friday, so Mrs. Thunder will be on the show. So check him out. He's at 7:30, 15 minutes from now. Everyone have a great weekend, and we'll see you tonight on the Utopian Baseball Universe After Dark. That'll come up about a half hour after Blue Jays Cardinals tonight on Xbox. Take care. Have a good weekend, everyone.